It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. Welcome to another edition of Grizzly on the Hunt with Psychic Kelly Joe. Beyond the Veil. Hello, Standing Stones. Hello, Aussie Sue. Let's see what else we got here. We got Denise. Hello, Denise. How's everybody doing this evening? So, pinky waving. Hello there. Yeah.
Hello.
So how have you been?
I've been good.
Well,
Keeping
Mark,
busy.
Luna. Well, good.
Well, I'm excited about tonight. So I'm going to talk about Atlantis, and I had like a personal connection to it.
Wow.
Back when I was like 17 years old, I kept dreaming about this crystal ball out in the ocean. And I kept getting, it was about Atlantis. And I worked with a gentleman friend named Stephen Molnar. He's passed on now. And we did a lot of work on archaeology, murder cases. He did what was called hypnotherapy, and I was what was called a somnambulist. And I could go under and see things and come back with information. So I kept talking about this ball, and he goes, hey, I did research, and I found this man that found a ball off the coast of Bimini. And his name was Dr. Ray Brown. And I got to meet the guy, and I got to see the ball. And it hummed. It made like a weird humming sound and vibration. And then I learned that if I took it outside, it would turn into like a laser beam. And the guy was telling us that he took it on tour, and he said that people were falling out and passing out.
Oh, wow.
And my friend Willie Whitefeather helped him, and he decided that ball wasn't any good. And he was Native American. He said, get away from that ball's evil, so he didn't like that ball. But it was very fascinating. It would make holographs inside of it too. And then I don't know what happened after that, but the man said that he dove off the coast of Bimini and he found a pyramid. And he said he circled down and he found this pyramid because it was after a big storm. And in the pyramid was a crystal rod that went all the way down, like, a long, tall rod. And it was over a table and with 12 chairs. And there was ladies' hands holding this ball. And he went down into the pyramid and took that ball. And then afterwards, he tried to go back and try and find the pyramid, and he never could find it again. But he had the ball. And so then Steve and I started writing a story about Atlantis. I called it, the first one was Akalon, which was Mu, and then Akalone, which was Lemuria, and then Atla was Atlantis. Those are the words that I got. Just, I don't know where it was from. Probably it was Atlantean. I don't know. And we wrote this story of how Atlantis was destroyed because they developed, it was a master civilization. They could travel in and out of portals. And they also developed beings that other people that weren't the good ones did beings and experiments, and they were like half beasts, and they did like warriors and all that stuff. And that's why the land blew up, and it was blew up by a laser beam. So that's my take on it.
Wow.
But and then there's a lot of people that have connection with Atlantean, and but they were like totally advanced civilization, and but this crystal ball used to hold things stable. It was like a stabilizer, and there's these crystal balls all around the earth that help stabilize the vibratory rate of the earth and the ley lines and all that. So that's my take on Atlantis. So
So where is Atlantis at? I mean, where does
I
everybody
think
think
it's
it
on.
is?
I think it's all across the continent, but it broke up. There was 3 lands, but I think it really is off the coast of Bimini, parts of it.
Wow, that's interesting. So
You
that
know,
was
and,
the
and
actual picture of the crystal ball we showed, right?
yes, absolutely. And supposedly this guy found it in like 68. So, but
That's wild.
it's neat how it was advanced where the crystal could act like a holograph machine.
Yeah, that is. I wonder who's got it now. Do you think the government's got it, or do you think
I
it's
don't
just
know.
lost in
I have
somebody's
no idea.
drawer?
I was only 17 when all this happened, you
That's
know.
wild.
And then at the same time, we were doing work on an archaeological site out in Arizona, and it was featured on America Unearthed. It was iron crosses. And I'd go out and I was working with an archaeologist, and I'd go point and say, dig here. And they dug a whole bunch of them up. But the problem was they put a gag order on us and then buried it again because it predated Christ. It would have messed up history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There are beautiful, huge iron crosses. They're just
Really?
absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
So there is so much hidden from us. It's unbelievable.
And Atlantis has always been intriguing and interesting. And I also believe that they had flying ships and stuff like that too.
Well,
And I
they
think
claim they were advanced in technology. Yeah.
that some traveled into you know other cultures and helped train them and teach them. I truly believe that.
They're
And
one of
then
the mysteries.
in our Atlantic story, we said that there was like 13 different cultures from different races that came here to help educate the earth at that point in time when Atlantis was here. And they went all over.
Yeah, that is correct. Hey, Lady Wolf, how you doing? So unsubscribe. Well, that's terrible. I hope you got that fixed.
Goodness.
Yeah, a lot of theories about Atlantis out there.
Oh, totally.
So
I mean, look at Edgar Casey.
yeah,
He talks about Atlantis. And he
yeah, and
says
he
it's
went and talked about it in depth too.
right and how it's supposed to rise and stuff, and they'll discover it. But I don't disagree that it wasn't there. I believe it was real. I don't think it's like Shangri-La or anything like that.
Do you think the aliens had anything to do with Atlantis? That's what somebody asked earlier.
I believe that they were from another, yeah, I think that they were alien race that settled here.
Yeah, see, it's interesting. The plot thickens.
And they were beautiful people.
What do they look like, you think?
I think that they were just very aesthetically pleasing. I believe that they knew the use of technology like uh, holographs and surgery and like that temple of beauty. The bad people, they intermix different genetics of things. It was animals and people mixed together, and they would fix that. And then I think another reason why Atlantis got destroyed is the the bad people developed a race of beings that were just warriors and they didn't have any souls. So
Denise must know maybe we're like that. They were Syrians.
they could have been. I don't know what star they came from, but they were just, they were very advanced. And they also could talk telepathy wise. They also did a lot of things on the bottom of the ocean.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw, when I would have my dreams about Atlantis, I would see a dome city under a dome under the sea.
Well, I actually have those in magazines and so forth and stuff over the years.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. And then I think a lot of the high people that were the people that knew what's going to happen, that it was going to be destroyed, they went through portals to escape.
Well, that would make sense.
Into another dimension.
Yeah, that would actually make sense. Maybe you were there in your past life, Denise wants to know.
Yeah, I think so. I truly think so. How would it be so clear and precise? And how would how would I know about the pyramid and the ball and the hands? Because I do that since I was an itty bitty little girl.
That's interesting. Crazy Witch says Edgar Casey was interesting, known as the Sleeping Prophet. Yes.
Yes. He's one of my heroes. I like him.
Or you think they're related to the mermaid people?
I think there was mermaids down there.
Hello, Joanne. Welcome to the show.
There really are mermaids.
No, I do believe in that. Yes, I do believe in that. Yes.
And I believe that after Atlantis got destroyed, I think some of the people did turn into mermaids. I know this is weird and far-fetched. Oh, well.
Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me tonight. I'm a little bit underneath the weather, so I'm hanging in there. So absolutely. But yeah, it is. It makes you wonder about stuff like that. It really does, because, they talk about how advanced they were when it comes to civilization, the technology, far more advanced than us. So, yeah, absolutely.
And I believe
that. I ate a bunch of hot chili, so I'm not doing too good. So I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Today's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
So, yes. Is it your birthday, too?
Whose?
Yours.
No. Why? Where's it saying it's my birthday?
I didn't know. Somebody in here has got... Whose birthday is it? Did I miss it in the comments? I must have missed it. Somebody said happy birthday to somebody.
Laura Rollins.
You said happy birthday to somebody. Happy birthday to Lady Wolf. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lady Wolf. Happy birthday to you. There we go. Feeling a little bit better? Just a hair, not too much. But yeah. No, not me. It's not your birthday. Whose birthday is it?
I don't know. I saw it on the thing. It's that lady Lauren.
Laurel. Was it Laurel? Laurel's day your birthday.
Lauren.
It is Laurel.
I think that's who I saw.
Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laurel. That's right. Happy birthday to you. Wow, I sound like I'm dying, doesn't it? Sorry about that, but I had to get it out there. Happy birthday, Laurel. Yes.
So, do you
So
guys
here
have
I'm
any
saying,
questions?
yeah. So what kind of questions y'all have? Let them rip. Atlantis and Crystal Ball was interesting.
Yeah, it
So I
was
got the
just
fan
so
blowing on me.
beautiful.
And it's a statue. So he had to swim down to the pyramid to get it, huh?
Yep. And he said he swam in a counterclockwise direction.
Well, that's interesting. Oh, thank you, Denise. I need all the healing I can get right now. I'm doing good to sit in a chair. That's not like me. Well, you're welcome, Lady Wolf. Absolutely. So, absolutely. Yes, I can take all the healing I can get. So somebody's sending me something. My body's starting to vibrate. So that is somebody sending me something, Denise. So
Yes, feel better.
yeah, it's awful when you get that feeling, you know.
Upset tummy is awful. Yes.
It is. What does Kelly Joe think about the pyramids underwater off the coast of Cuba? Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think it's probably part of Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean, Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis, you know, they said it was approximately right in the square mid of it, right? Where all the
Yep.
continents connected.
Yep.
So, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I would love to go back in time and look at that, or go look into a projector or something like that and see what it looked like. That's for sure. So,
And it's,
Laurel, go ahead, Kelly.
go ahead. But it's fascinating about all this stuff. And if you look, there's pyramids all across the earth that
What
link
about the
up.
one in Grand Canyon? Didn't there supposed to be pyramids in the Grand Canyon that sealed off, and pictoglyphs and the hieroglyphs? I can't remember. I don't know. Somebody
I
check me
don't
out on that.
I don't know about that, but I know that there's all kinds of ancient things there, and I know that there's portals in the Grand Canyon that
Yes.
I've heard the Indians talk about, time portals in the caves and stuff, and they go into other dimensions.
Yeah, Crazy Witch says that he loves that kind of stuff, and it's a hidden cave. That is correct, Crazy Witch. That's
Yes,
what it is, a hidden
absolutely.
cave.
Yep.
Yes. Denise would like to know her past lives. So many different
Oh,
opinions.
okay. I feel like she was a man in uh, Beijing, China, way back in like the 1500s. And I feel like she did the history. She was like a scribe. She did the history of China. She was one of the boys that scribed.
Wow. Are you into Chinese stuff, Denise? Laura says, I think history repeats itself, so we'll probably find out what happened to Atlantis and everything else soon enough. So,
Absolutely.
Crazy Witch, yeah, there's supposed to be a golden library hidden in a cave in Amazon rainforest. That's what I heard too.
Yep. I've heard of that.
Laurel, she says, we have similar event that upends everything. We do. And yes, Denise loves Chinese objects. Well, go figure.
There you go.
I think I was Medusa in a previous life, Jones says.
Okay.
Don't get me laughing, please. Don't get me laughing.
Okay.
Oh, that was good. That was a real good one. So, yes, Medusa. I never forget watching that when I was growing up. That was what, Hercules, wasn't it?
Yep.
So, that was funny and
You're
negative.
welcome.
Yeah, that had to be a negative. She was supposed to be beautiful, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she could turn into stone.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
You're welcome, Denise.
Jones, blood type. What do you mean by blood type? Oh, negative blood type. I got you. I'm a little slow today. So, yes, Laurel's, it's her birthday. I wonder if we're going to make sure everybody knows that. So, they're probably going to be dying when they hear me sing tomorrow on the audio, like, what in the heck is Grizzly doing? So, yeah, Lady Wolf, I asked the same question about her. And Lady Wolf wants to know about her past life.
You definitely was alive in the medieval days. I see, like, you were with a court, and you were female, and you were of the high dignitary, and you could ride a horse side saddle like nobody's business.
There, I done mute myself. There you go, Lady Wolf. Jones, no, I can see the truth through people's eyes and turn them white with fear. I believe that. So I love if you can tell me anything. Jones wants to know if you can say anything or tell her anything. Well, don't turn me into stone.
You definitely were alive during the Greek times, and I see you being a lady of wealth, but you also had sight, and you did readings for dignitaries and stuff. And then
so she was upper class.
Yeah, yep. And then I also see her being able to save books of knowledge. She was in a scene.
Wow.
So.
That's interesting.
You were a witch and you could do spells. Yeah, you were a bitch.
Wow. Black magic.
Yeah, she really did. But she was also a great healer with all the herbs and stuff.
She says, wow, thank you. Mort, can you see anything for me? Mort Ally.
Definitely was in Mesopotamia. Say that fast 500 times.
You did. You said it right. Mesopotamia, yeah.
And definitely was a man. And he was like the baker there.
Oh, talking about food. Oof.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And then she also was, died young in the 1940s, but this person was a comedian also.
Do you have a lot of humor in yourself? So what is it with past lives? Did they just come back? Oh, she's in the bakery business.
Oh, wow. Oh, I got goosebumps.
Wow. That's weird how that comes back, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Flavors. It's like flavors like ice cream.
Wow, that's interesting. It makes you wonder. I mean, do you just keep coming back over and over?
Yeah, it's your choice.
Bluetooth connected.
That's just my spirit dolls messing with my audio equipment again.
Okay.
Yeah. The other day it turned off my mic during the middle of a show. Turned off my cat ball. Yeah. So it is interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial. If I can find the right button here. I'm trying to look for it. There we go. Here we are. All right, welcome back. Hello, Laura.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Crazy Witch. So yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I cannot. We were talking about this on another show. How people can just see things. I mean, can you just like? I mean, see, it's so hard for me to grasp, right? Like, you can just like walk into the department store and you can just see just how people just like went through over the ages and what they
I
went
can, if I
through.
want to, I can turn it on and off. But yeah, you
That's
know,
pretty wild.
it's like sometimes um, their face will morph into different faces. It isn't that they're possessed, it's just I'll see all the different past lifetimes.
I'll be out of holy water for sure. Yeah, I see something like
But
that.
Laura wants to know what she was, and she wants to know. Well, definitely you were in Polynesia and you were a pearl diver.
Wow.
So I bet if you go to Hawaii, you'll have a lot of deja vu. And you were definitely female. You like the female body. Sometimes you like the male body more than female. And we've been everything. And then another thing that I see is um, at, huh, you also were, where's the place where they have the stacked castles? Is that Taiwan? The beautiful,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
and I
Yeah, the
don't,
cut out of stone.
yeah, and it's called something.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Well,
Hello,
she said,
Twisted Witch.
hello. Yeah, you're very psychic, Twisted Witch.
I know the chat is behind. I don't know why. It's the dolls. I'm gonna blame it on the dolls.
Well,
So
I'm just, uh,
yes, that is Crazy Witch. Dan Model. Non model. Kapuru hara. How do you go hora? There we go.
yeah,
Close enough. Yeah, you're right. That is what it's called, though.
thank
That they
you.
can't figure out how it was made. Yes, I've been told by several people, Twisted Witch. You've been told what? Do you have deja vu all the time? I have deja vu a lot of times. So, and what does that actually represent when you do get deja vu?
What you do is you pop forward in the timeline continuum and you see what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah, how you feeling today, Twisted Witch, compared to the other day? The other day she was in the hospital, Kelly.
Oh, no,
Yes. Yes, we definitely know Twisted. She's a psychic, all right.
totally.
Denise, since I was little, I never felt I belonged to my family. Can you tell me why?
It's because you are different than them and you are more open.
It's interesting. Just get out of the hospital. I'm hanging in there. Well, hopefully you are, because I'm hanging with you too. So,
Hope you're feeling better.
me too. I don't like it when anybody feels bad. So I call that the black sheep of the family sometimes.
Yeah. It's like you pick in past lives and stuff, but before you come here as a soul, you pick your family, you pick your lovers, you pick your mates, you pick your kids, you pick what part of the country you get born into, you pick your life lessons, you pick your diseases.
I hope so too. I hope you can get that taken care of, Twisted. I didn't know I didn't know all that happened like that.
And then you get, after you hit the age of 7, unless you're encouraged, you get forgetful. You forget because you remember everything before the age of 7, then it's all gone.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, Denise says I didn't pick very well.
I'm sorry. Well, it's a lesson that you always want to learn.
That is true. Which I have been learning a lot of lessons lately, haven't I, Kelly?
Absolutely, we all have.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat. Which color is your oar?
Yeah, I know who's got my paddles. Ain't that right, baby? It's Sonya. I don't want everybody to think I'm calling you baby on the air. Be like, oh, Lord, Grizzly's calling Kelly Joe baby.
I'm sorry, that went over my head.
Yeah, I was talking to Sonya. She's
Okay.
tuning in. So, yes, all lessons. I agree.
And then you
So,
choose what, like I told Grizzly today, in life lessons, it's choice, attitude, and perception.
it is the truth.
And you can have something terrible, awful happen, and you can choose to look at it terrible, awful, or choose to look at it differently. You can ask two people that came from the same household about something, and they'll totally see it differently.
And you just made me thinking about attorneys. Ask 5 attorneys and get 5 different answers.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. No, that is interesting, though, because we did have a conversation about that today. So, yeah. Talked about free will and everything. Yeah,
Right.
Lady Wolf, that is the truth. So, and how you can
And,
manifest your own things and
right.
problems. Yes.
And we're the only animal on earth that has free will. Every angels have to do the will of God.
Now, there was a question yesterday. Was it yesterday before? Your spirit guides and your guardian angels, are they family members or can they be family members?
No.
Because I wasn't for sure. I didn't think they were. Now, I know they can come and talk to you and visit you and stuff.
Right, but they can't intervene, and if they're opinionated over here, they're going to be opinionated over there.
That's wild. Laura, I didn't know you had a near-death experience. Fascinated the afterlife. That's
Well,
interesting.
you probably crossed over and came back. You got a blue glow. Do you remember what they talked
See,
to you
that's another
about when you
thing.
crossed?
Laura,
Laura?
did you hear that? Do you remember what they talked to you about? Because I think that got brought up too, that some people got sent back, said it wasn't their time. They had to go back.
Right.
Can you see anything from my daughter, please? She's 17 years old.
She is very stubborn. She needs to learn to be more flexible. She's very black and white. So she needs to know that there's more gray area. But she's going to I feel like she's going to end up having 2 degrees. And she needs to do work with people. And I also see her traveling. If she loves something, she'll stick with it forever, and she's going to really find her niche.
Does that resonate with you, Joanne? I always like to know the backstory too.
She'll answer in a minute.
See, I don't know if it's my connection or it's the dolls or so, but no, it's interesting because, like I said, a lot of that got brought up, and I couldn't remember. She says, "Wow, thank you."
You're welcome.
That's very interesting, and also bring up your email. Let's see here.
It's lowercase on my email. All
There we
lowercase.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, and your website.
Yep.
That way you can get a hold of her directly and speak to her one-on-one. Because the only thing you're all getting is just a little sample, like at the grocery store, where you go around and get samples.
And I am available for readings. That's what I do for a living.
She danced from age 2 and still dances. Laurel, I do decorating with Asian and ocean stuff. Wow. And I would love to live in a houseboat. Denise, Kelly, why has some psychics told me my dad was my spirit guide and it's confusing?
Well, I'm not going against other psychics. They believe what they believe. I'm just telling you what I was told.
Now, I
Because your
think they
guides,
can
guardian
come
angels
back
have never.
and talk to you, right? But I don't see,
Right.
yeah,
But they are not your guides or an angel.
can they direct you in the right path, though? Your family members that's crossed over, or is that a fine line, too?
Well, they can help. They can come to you in dreams.
Hey, Standing Stones.
But
Okay, I understand. Makes sense now. Thank you, she says.
you're okay.
Yeah, but
But your
Standing
guides and
Stones, I
guardian
think
angels
we've
have never
talked
been
about it.
human.
That is right. That's what I was wanting to say the other day.
No, your dad is not a spirit guide. No, no, no.
Now, Standing Stones wasn't you the one that says you have spirits that come to you, but you cannot communicate to them? Wasn't that you? Was that you yesterday? Grizzly, if I hear my grandmother and hear her tone is firm, I'm listening. Absolutely. Standing Stones, but I never thought of him being that, and that's crazy because I had a very close call with an accident, but something told me to move now, and he moved. That's right. You was in the truck and the tree fell, and something told you to move. That's right. That I think that was your guardian
Oh,
angel, wouldn't that be, Kelly?
yep,
So yeah.
absolutely. And sometimes they can like um your people, like, say for instance you're lost on a frozen mountain and you're dying and they want you to go on. They can come to you in a dream and give you memories to remember and tell you to keep going on.
Oh, now that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, but Standing
And
Stones,
you can
wouldn't
pray
you?
for any kind of angel. What?
Go ahead. I got a little delay on my end. Go ahead, Kelly.
You can pray for any kind of angel you need, even a parking angel or whatever.
That's interesting. Now, do your guardian angels and your spirit guides, do they ever switch out, or are they with you for life?
Well, you have your main ones that are with you for eternity, your main guide, and then they switch out. Whatever you need is provided.
Okay.
You have your main guide throughout eternity. That's your definitely every soul on earth has a spirit guide, no matter what race, creed, color, what part of the world they come from. You have a main guide.
That makes sense. Okay. I couldn't remember yesterday, I think, when we were discussing this because, people do have different opinions about certain things, but I get confused because I know some are not supposed to do certain things, but others will tell you certain things, but it's not what the spirit guides or guardian angels are doing, the family members. Does that make sense? I know that was a kind of a tongue twister,
I get it.
but yeah,
Oh,
but yeah.
that standing guy said my head was being pushed up and down with some. I can't read it. Wait.
Yeah, my head was
Um,
being pushed up and down, saying, then something said, move now. So I released the air brake and moved and pulled down my truck about 20 feet, and a huge tree falling right where I was parked.
well, thank goodness.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Ron. Better late than never. Yeah, I think the world of Kelly Joanne. She has guided me for quite a while. So, yes.
And, Standing Stone says he hopes he's done. It's always your choice. You always can choose.
Oh, she's right
Thank
to the
you.
point, Denise. Trust me, I got it today, but yeah, double barrel. But I deserved it.
Well, I'm not mean, but
No,
don't ask me if you don't want to know. It'll come out my ears.
no. Laurel, I remember being outside my body in the hospital room and seeing everybody and everyone there. That's wild. Out of body
Well,
experience.
your soul was popped out of your body.
What causes that? Does it just happen
A
sometimes, or
trauma or whatever. You're a lot of times I believe like if you have instantaneous death, your soul pops out of your body before you go.
wow?
It's like one time I miscarried a baby and bled to death and I popped out of my body and was floating around.
Wow.
And I came back to my body. They said, we're not ready yet. I drowned myself when I was 13 at the deep end of the pool with a weight cast on.
With what?
I had a cast on my arm and I slipped on the deep end of the pool and I went blub, blub, blub. And I'm looking at myself and I'm going, wow, that poor person is drowning. Oh, wow. It's me. Oh, so this little angel took me to, I don't know, another angel. And he says, well, she's not supposed to be here yet. So it was funny. She goes, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So they sent me back, and then I heard my mom call me, and I was the man that was watching the grounds of the campsite pulled me out and did like CPR and threw me over his back, and then I came to. But I was coughing up water.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so you got sent back. So
Yeah.
yes. Wow, that's something else. Crazy Witch, I've done that in my dreams a bunch over and over. Standing Stones. I was sitting up against the large tree on the parkway, sort of a hill overlooking the city. I got very relaxed and I felt myself shoot up in the truck
Bluetooth disconnected.
and the
Bluetooth
tree
connected.
out through the branches. Wow, that is wild. Now that would scare the daylights out of me.
Well, he was astral traveling. When you dream every night, you leave your body.
Laura says she don't remember hearing anything else. I don't even remember hearing sounds. Then Standing Stone says I was looking down at myself. I felt like a riptide was pulling me away, and I swam back into myself.
Yep, you went back into your body.
Wow. Standing Stones, you got well, that was an ordeal in a that's something else. That's a lot.
Oh, I have so many times when I've had neat things happen, like, um, vibratory rate being changed so that the accident didn't happen, or angels holding me down so I wouldn't get hurt. So you can have direct angelic influence and help.
Wow. Denise, is that why I feel like I'm falling in my dreams and bouncing back all the time?
Yeah, you're bouncing back into your body. And of course, you're tethered. Your tether can't ever break. You can go as far as you want. It ain't going to break. But when you die, your tether breaks, and that's your soul goes on to the light, through the light.
Lady Wolf, out of body only happened to me once. That's that I can remember. And Kelly Joe said we pop out when we dream.
Yes.
So I had a dream where somebody was holding my hands, and it was so real. And then it was like my hands were being tugged, and we both woke up at the same time. Now that
Well,
was
there you
wild.
go. Well, you were probably astral traveling together.
That was wild.
Because a lot of
Right.
times, if you're with a friend, or sometimes you can meet a friend in astral realm, or your lovers can travel together, and even your pets can travel with you in astral realm.
That's interesting. Ron, he says you can leave your body for a brief period, but it isn't something I recommend. Yes, astral travel is something you can do in your sleep. Yes, absolutely. Laurel, I was very young when I had my near-death experience. I don't think I was even school age yet. In Standing Stones, it was intense, so I sat against the tree with hearing my super sensitive. I heard oncoming cars coming up the road, and it got more intense as it got close. So that's when I shot up and went through the truck. Yeah, that would scare me. Hey, Drew, what's going on in there, Mr. Drew Lee Nichols? How you doing there? Standing Stones, back to the ranges, looking down at myself. Yeah, that's something else. Crazy Witch, Kelly Joe was so awesome.
Thank you.
Laura says, I think I may have left out of my body experience once if we can do it in dreams. So, but we actually did a show on dreams and night terrors and sleep paralysis and stuff. And that was a very interesting show. Learned a lot.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah. Drew says, I'm okay. I had a day, that all. You can tell he's from UK. Laurel, I had a dream of jumping on a trampoline. Felt like I was going to float away. Float away. Somebody will catch you, Laurel. Come back. There we go. Yes. So, now, what is it? See, I can't remember when I took psychology in you dream. What does it mean when you can control your dreams?
That is what's called lucid dreaming.
Yeah, that is correct.
And what you can do is you can go back into the dream and control what's happening. And then you can go back, wake up, go pee, and then reconvene with your dream after you go back to sleep.
Wow. And Denise wants to know, if you don't mind, what does sleep paralysis mean again?
Now, I'm not a doctor or expert here, peeps. Sometimes they say that we have sleep paralysis so we don't get up and run around and hurt ourselves.
Drew said he had a fun day. Laurel, I was very sick when I had my near-death experience. Yes. We've talked about that. Most near-death experiences, usually, not all the time, don't hold Grizzly to this. For my research, has always been for most of the time when people were younger, as in children or preteens.
Right.
That's from my research. Crazy Witch. It's almost all my dreams have been in my entire life. Ron, he remotes view. That's very similar and yet different than astral travel. That is correct.
Yes. I do that a lot when I work on murder cases.
Yes, she does. And I had pneumonia, chicken pox, and Rye's syndromes. I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and whoa. Wow.
My goodness. Glad you're here, hon.
Yeah, absolutely. I love sleep paralysis, Drew says. They got my own experience where it can get really bad things. There was a shadow with red eyes. And that's when we need to send him one of my holy kits. I was under having major surgery, she says. Laura, wow, you had it all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tune in for next week. I'm going to try to get feeling better, and she's got a tea party to go to. I'm glad you all tuned in, and we love you very much. And from us to you and us to us, and yes, and everybody gets feeling better. And we'll see you on the flip side. Love you all. Take care. See you soon. Bye. Bye.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not a chipmunk? Action. Get out of here! Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here!
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just gonna sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!